Welcome back everyone, I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Genius Sappheiros Extra. Alright, I'm still trying to get that one drop, and I still can't get it. Let's see, let's take a look at this. Oops, not Transcendence. Machine Dragon. I've killed this thing 95 times, and I still have yet to see the high ribbon, which is supposed to be a 5% drop. Bullshit. Alright, but I do have some good news. Let's start with the stuff here. I went ahead and crafted the Yata no Kagami and the Yasakani no Magatama. Despite the penalties, if you actually equip both of these items together, you can reduce all damage by 75%. So it's essentially, if you have both of them equipped, it's equivalent of having a Regalia equipped. The other thing I also crafted was I went ahead and crafted Lithos's max level, or currently max level armor, which gives her resistance to the physical attacks, and it's just higher stats, better physical defense, more defense, more resistance, more evasion. Skills wise, we learned a few new skills, not from any of these people though. Reimu learned Fantasy Needle, which is just a stronger needle attack with longer cooldown, more expensive, etc. Let's see, you didn't learn anything, you didn't learn anything, you definitely didn't learn anything, nope. I don't think there was anything for you. I'm pretty sure I already told you about Soul Steel. For Marissa, she learned Milky Way, which is a multi-target laser attack, which is so far the only, I think, oh, okay, so yeah, it's an upgraded multi-target attack. Partially ignores its defense, has high damage. None of these. I did learn Knockout on 3 steps, which is a very high strength attack, and it actually has lower cooldown than the Storm of Mount O, which is kind of funny. And that's everything. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is just briefly start the next main quest. I still have yet to farm any like shards or anything, because quite frankly I just can't be bothered to do so. So I've really just been collecting a lot of emeralds and diamonds and then converting them to gold just to save me the trouble of fighting Nazarene. And every time I go get an opportunity to get Remilia's quest, I go ahead and do that so I can respawn all the enemies here in the Gorgon dimension place, so I can try to get that stupid ribbon, which I've been failing miserably in getting. Anyway, let's take a look quickly. Oh, I did upgrade a few things. I upgraded the death resistance item to go to a star level instead of just, you know, the @ symbol. And I think that's everything. I'm a little... Why do I have... I should have something better than this. Yeah, I have the head priest charm. Why am I using this? In fact, I don't even need this. Alright, is anyone using plus strength? You are. Give me that. There we go. And that's about it. Alright, sounds good. Force magic. And no plot. That's kind of how it is for these extra modes, apparently. Anyway, I am still trying to level people up as well. Sakia needs to hit level 99 to get her final spell. Lithos' final spell is level 95. I don't know about the other people, but those are the 2 spells I definitely will need eventually. Anyway, this is, you can call it Force Magic 3, that's what most people call it. Suppository. Luckily, these little secret passages are easy to see. And wow, that was rather short. Now we can just head over this way. Small Thunders, these are giant types, and we got upgraded forms of those dragon maids or whatever. No big deal. We're just gonna kill everything. At least the little giant there is actually a new sprite, instead of just a palette swap. Not particularly tough, though. Oh, this is just cruel. Why can't putting everything in an area where I can't see? Doesn't seem to be a chest there, though. I'll kill this thing later. Actually, let's go down here. Whee! So much like the Forest of Magic 2, there's a upper and lower level. And looks like we got upgraded forms of everything. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit more winded. I am actually sick at the moment. But I want to go ahead and get this started and get moving on before I burn myself out through grinding. For the most part, I've gotten almost everything I want. I still need to get some shards to kind of get the reduction to all types of damage ability accessory at least, and then beyond that, it's nothing too fantastic. Okay, this is actually not a palette swap, it's actually a different sprite. Who would have thought? But I figured I'll try to show off as many of the combats as possible for this part, and then after that I'm just going to kill everything off screen, and then show where all the chests are, and then where the boss is. I don't think the boss will give us too much trouble. We're kind of up there on levels, and we have a lot of good gear. Just wish I had the high ribbon, but you know, can't get everything. Pretty sure silence doesn't stop me from using these abilities. Nope, it doesn't. Alright, Yomo got a growth point. Not much I can really do with Yomo besides just give him more strength. I mean, I could get some evasion, some perfect dodge, but it's hardly anything. I could also improve my chance of... Oh, actually, I can increase my crit chance. You know, that's worth it. It also increases death chance, but that's not important at this point in the game. Alright, there's the gold door. There's a bunch of evil. Good news is, once I actually have all the drop by the stuff I've crafted, I won't really have to worry too much, because most of my guys are going to be max level already, unless I really want to grind for power points, which at this point, there's not really much gain for doing so. Hey, material. Hold up, iron. I haven't unlocked everything that needs to be crafted, unfortunately, which is also why I kind of want to go ahead and get things moving again. There's still some upgraded forms of various items that require like rarest materials, which at this point is not so rare because I have so many of them now. But I may craft some of those types of armors or weapons. I know Sune actually has a snake item that's actually, you know, a caster item rather than, you know, a physical weapon. Also gives you immunity to paralysis, which is something I'm interested in. little bit of frame rate. I don't know, just this week has been, well, actually, maybe, yeah, this week, actually, it's, perhaps hasn't been very agreeable. It's going back to what it was like when I first was starting to record. It's not that terrible yet, but it got pretty bad when I was recording, Blood Bowl. 1 frame per second type junk. Unfortunately, with all these new enemies, I don't see any that actually drop shards, which is disappointing. I really don't want to go back in the cave, because the cave is so freaking random, it's ridiculous. Supposedly, like, if you go to the right sections, you can farm for the right shards, but I really don't know which lead to where, and unfortunately the wiki doesn't tell me, which is odd, because the wiki usually has better information, like, I don't know, how to farm shards. Or at least advise me not to make crystals. Yay, 10,000 XP. Which is nothing at this point. I mean, you can see it right now. Yomu needs 500,000 to level up, just about. And that's to get the level 93. Which does remind me, I actually need to, like, unequip that. And, you know what? You can have it. I just doubled Yoma's experience. I kinda just been passing that item around to whoever kinda needs it. Hopefully these enemies aren't too difficult. Could be because of my level, could be because of my gear, who knows. I still have 2 side quests I need to do. One of them I definitely need to farm for, because it's the only way you can get the item. And the other is for Dragon Fangs, which would save me some other farming. But, some of the suggested spells are literally the final spells that your character gets, which I don't have yet. There's probably like a bunch of hidden chests I'm missing. Oh no, surprise attack. Got a last word off, alright. This is literally an auto-attack battle. Ooh, not good. At least she only physical attack. Things would have gotten really difficult if I had to deal with, like, Ancient Drizzle. Alright, so this thing likes using charms. Gotcha. Good to know. Most of my characters are resistant, though. If not immune. Alright, so there's this chest here. Only fragments. Yay. More than likely, I'm not going to be using any of Yugi's weapons, because I don't want to farm for them. You know what, we don't need this, just auto attack. We have Slayer against giants, so these things are hardly a threat. Alright, so we got a bunch of directions we go. Let's go south first. Stay on the overworld for a bit. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's where we came from. Oh no. These things are just like before, they're practically immune to magic, and you just gotta shred them. They're vulnerable to physical attacks though. There we go. She loses the spell. I'm using magic because she's blind right now. If he didn't notice. Not bad damage. Or someone that's not specialized in magic at the moment. What, that's it? So this is just a dead end? Am I missing something? Yeah, guess not. Hara Battler Bug. I have no idea what that is. I find it frightening. I apologize for having to go through this I guess later half of the LP with just going blind, because quite frankly I was not gonna. This is not a game I completed like Labyrinth of Toho. Mainly because for one I was playing it back when I was on normal mode, which means if you die you lose all the items you found. It was a very unpleasant game, and I can't even imagine doing the part where you had to split into 3 parties on normal mode. That would be insane. Actually, you don't need to do that. Do that. And drop some material and probably some junk. Yep, steel. I wish there was like a crafting that allowed me to break down the crystals I have into shards. That would be nice. I would even take just 2 shards from every crystal. I'm not greedy. Hey, look. All these things. Alright, much we can do about this. Actually, what you can do is buff everyone's resistance. So I don't get charmed. Front row down. Hey, these things drop shards. Awesome. Actually, is that the type I need? Actually, it is. I need water shards. In fact, I need water and earth more than anything. I have enough fire to at least make 3. I now actually have enough shards to make 1, either an elemental thing, or I can make a Sun Tzu book. Whichever I choose, really. Actually, why am I doing that? Just attack. So good, this won't be entirely useless. And I just gotta tell myself to never ever make crystals, because I don't need them. You can use crystals to make like emeralds and diamonds, but those are pretty easy to get already. And farming them gets me pretty much a free 60k experience for all the characters I'm not using. Since all you need is Sarnau to get the emerald, and you only need a little bit more to get the diamond, at least if you want to get it with any reasonable amount of time. Since the Cyber Dragon boss can actually be petrified sometimes. Hello, Yukari. And ran away. Wasted bomb, but that's okay. Either secret passages or freaking chest I have to worry about all the time, like this spot here. Yomu's kind of doing all the work right now. Because that AoE is actually pretty cost efficient. It costs 30 MP in a bomb. And Yomu has generally a decent amount of MP, it's just she runs out of bombs all the time. Yeah, and instant death. I haven't seen that in forever. Actually, that's a lie. I've been seeing it every time I get an emerald, but for random encounters, it is a change. Hidden passages everywhere in this place. I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Okay, that's a lie, but oh, what? I think we fought this thing before. Pretty sure we have. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Do that. You focus on that. You buff, and you buff. That's a stat reduction rocket. Ow. Oh jeez. Not gonna deal with a bomb. You're out of bombs. Yes, you are. Fantastic. Oh, I guess I didn't need to use that. Oh well, private square. We've seen the material from this thing already. Yep, steel. Which is actually good, because I have been running a little low on steel from crafting stuff, so not too annoyed by that. Oh, hey, found the key. Neat. Can we go this way? No. Okay, that thing can apparently counter with Death Zapper. Earth Shard. I can actually use that too, good. Awesome, you guys are great. Keep dropping those. In fact, drop them more often. Speaking of, that needs to change. Gamer Fan just increases it by like literally nothing, but it does increase drop rates, just not really by very much. And I'm out of bombs. And I'm just about out of time too, so that kind of works out in my favor. But we'll go ahead and finish this fight first, and then I'll go ahead and call it a video. So you guys got to see the gimmick of this place. It's nothing fantastic. It's probably going to be just as short as the last place. And we'll get to see who we'll be going up against next. We've gotten all the characters, so it's just going to be straight bosses now. Also, if you go back to the room that you fight Yugi in, it doesn't even take her to your room, it just ends the combat. Or ends the dungeon, it just takes you right out. Which is kind of disappointing, but I guess it makes sense because there wasn't really much dialogue with Yugi besides after the combat. Yay, 180. And some iron. Alright. I am Dior, and this was Genius of Sappheiros Extra. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys after I finish clearing this place out. See you guys.